Hi all, welcome to the channel, welcome to the workshop. Today we have pack 3 of the 66 Batmobile, stages 6 to 8. And from the looks of it, we're working on more of the engine that we started last time. So let's get into it, let's get building. Okay, so here we have issue 6 of the Batmobile. And again, I'll just give you a quick look through the magazine. And as you can see, we do have parts of the engine and the gearbox. And you can see we are attaching it to the bell housing that we created last time, looking just like that. And by the time we're finished, we have something that looks like that. Right, so these are the parts we get this time, and these are metal. And they look just like that. That's the gearbox housing, I believe. We're going to kick off with this one, with this oil pan. And we need this little bracket. And that's just going to sit over the top of those two lugs there. And we're going to use two DP screws to hold that in place. And the second one just going in there. So that's looking just like that. We're going to take this sub-assembly and we're going to be placing it into this part of the gearbox housing, just like so. We're going to use a DM screw to hold that in place. Now, it is important that you put this the right way around because it will only fit one way. As you can see, that it needs to be flush with that edge there. So get one of our DM screws. I'm going to use a bit of oil on that. And we'll get that one just in there. We're going to follow that up with our bell housing. And that's going to go in this way around. And we're going to use another DM screw for that one. So that's in there looking just like that. We're next going to get this piece, and that's going to sit just in the end there. And we're going to place this piece over the top of it, just to hold that in place, like so. You'll see that does actually move around a little bit. We're going to use two CM screws to hold that in place. One just in there. And the final one just going in there. We're then going to flip this over. We're going to take this piece here and we're going to place it just there where we've got those two holes. And we're going to use two AM screws to hold that in place. And that is what that is looking like. And that is all there is to do in that stage. Right, so moving on with issue 7. And as you can see, we still have more of our engine. So we're assembling our distributor cap. And by the time we're finished, we'll have something that looks like that. Right, so the first parts we're going to need are these two parts here. Now, they are both marked R. And we're going to be assembling them in this orientation. Like so. Now there is a little pin on there, so that will match up with this hole here. And then we're going to use an AM screw to secure those in place. Now, as you guessed, from the fact that we're using an AM screw, these parts are metal. So that's looking just like that. And we're going to take the side of our engine, which is also metal, looking just like that. And we're going to be placing this assembly into the hole you just see there, like that. We're going to secure that from the back using another AM screw. Making sure that stays straight and lined up while we tighten this one up. That's looking just like that. I'm going to place that to one side, and now we're going to work on our distributor. So we've got the cap looking just like that, and we have this sprue of all the little distributors that's going to go around there. And it's just a case of cutting off the distributor and placing it on the top there. We also have this centerpiece, which is going to go just in there like so. I'm just going to use my tweezers just to push that down in the center, make sure it's all the way down, and I'm going to continue around with all of those caps. So all of those on there, just going to finish off with the last one, which is going to go straight into the center. So that's that one pushed down, and it's looking just like that. Then I'm going to take this silver piece. We've got a peg just on the side there. Now, it is a D-shaped hole, so it will only go into this hole one way round. It's going to go just like that. Next we have this piece, and we've got a hole just here. Now as you can see, there is a key shape to it. We have a key shape on the end here. That's just going to go in there, and then we're going to secure that with a TP screw from the other side. Just make sure that is the correct way around. It's quite a shallow key on this one. So we've got that in there just like that. And then we're going to finish off this issue with this piece that we just created a minute ago. Got another D-shaped hole, a D-shaped peg, and that's just going to be placed on the top there, like so. So you know that you've got that the right way around in that little key shape if this is pointing down this way. And that's all there is to do in that stage. But we're going to keep hold of that because I believe we're doing something with that in the next issue. Right, final issue for this build pack, issue 8. And as you can see, we are still working on the engine. So we've got a little bit of build up to do first, and then we are attaching that to the piece we've just created. It's always useful when the parts come out in these little trays, because you can organize and see all your parts at a glance. I'm going to start off this with this piece here and this piece here, and we're going to just place those together like so. I'm going to use 2 AP screws to hold that in place. That's looking just like that. Next we have this small length of pipe. And this small detail here. And we're just going to secure that in like so. Make sure it's pushed all the way in. And then this is going on the little nipple you can just see there. Again, just a push fit. Like so. And then we're finishing off this part with this piece. And that's just going to go over the top like so. And again, 2 more AP screws to hold that one in place. So it's looking just like that. Put that to one side. Now we're going to assemble the generator, which I think is their word for saying alternator. Of course, being on the Batmobile, it's probably the Bat generator. So we're going to start off with that piece and this fan piece, and that's just going to sit on top like that. Going to follow that up with this piece, and that's just going to go like that. It's going to sit inside that fan piece, you can see like that. We have this shallow one, looks very similar. That's going to be following that, like so. And then we've got a TP screw to hold that in place. So that is what that assembly is looking like. Right, next we have this cylinder piece, or housing, I guess. We're going to just place that just on that peg there, of that part we've just assembled. And we're going to use another TP screw that's going to go right down the middle into that piece. Go right down in there. And that's going to be placed like that. We then have a cap to go on the end of that. Like so. And then this will be going on the side of the engine. So we need our engine block that we created a moment ago. And we have a hole just here. And that's going to be for that one there. Again, it's a key-shaped hole. We're going to place that just in there. And then we're going to use another TP screw to hold that in place. And now that's in place, I'm just going to rotate this piece around to straight up. That's how the illustration is showing at the minute, but that can be moved quite freely. So I'm sure at some point when we put a new part in there, we'll get that in perfect alignment. But that is all there is to do in that stage, and that is all there is to do in that build pack. Now, just notice that we do have this piece spare, so make sure you keep that bit safe as well. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please remember to give it a big thumbs up. So we've got quite a few parts now for the engine, and I think with a little bit of education, yes, we can probably see how that's all going to assemble up, like so. So that's looking pretty good. Certainly quite a long engine, and obviously transmission, etc. That's also going to attach to the drive shaft, etc. But looking really, really good. And as I said, we did have a small spare part, so do make sure you keep that safe. I highly recommend, if you don't have a box already, just keep it in the part tray that it came with, and then you won't lose it when we actually need it. If you want to see more of how the Batmobile progresses, or anything else that goes on in the workshop, please do remember to hit the subscribe button and ding that bell, and then you'll be notified when I release new videos. Until next time, I'll see you around. Cheers!